Last time on Scum and Villainy, the crew in search of the fabled Salnora found the remains of its forward hull. Venturing into the rotted hulk, they found it's fraught with perils. Now trapped by a pack of enhanced Nexu, they must find a way to escape. That's quite possibly the worst one I've done yet. The voice. Anyway, so the situation is you are in a room. Shock is by the door, having just finished dogging the hatch shut. The door is slightly buckled from the impact of something the size of a small horse hitting it on the outside, and there is three nice little rents in the door from claws of another one of the small horses in the hallway. I should say they're more large cats. And that's where I left you guys at last time. So what's up?
How long do we think we have before the Nexu can bust through the door based on their initial body slam?
Give me a mechanics check. No difficulty. It's not a pass or fail. I just want to see what your read on this is.
So normal difficulty 2?
No, just no. Take all the purple off. No difficulty.
Okay.
No purple. We're just running a raw check with no difficulty on it, just to see how you read. Okay. You take an appraising look at that door. You saw how it buckled, and then of course you see the slashes coming from it. It's probably not going to take them more than 5 or 10 minutes to get through that, to get the door open. Now, to get through it, because of their size, might take them a little bit longer.
Okay. I assume my translator droid has survived that last episode.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Shock will bark out a few sort of somewhat emotional, I guess, cries, and the droid will say, "Gents and ladies, I think that perhaps we should move expeditiously. We only have perhaps 5 to 10 minutes before these creatures can start reaching through after us."
Boom! The door creaks a little bit further in as a body slams against on the outside.
Is there a maintenance hatch or something in here, or
give me a quick perception check there, Roxy.
I'll even take a ventilation shaft.
Okay, yeah. Look around, see if there's something there.
Are we basically on the bridge? Is that what you said?
You're one deck below the bridge.
One deck below the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a sub bridge, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a security control point that's just below the bridge that it controls access to and from. It's like a narrow corridor, and they go up the corridor to get into the bridge controls, the bridge deck.
What difficulty?
Just an average difficulty, yeah. Oh, you cast about. You do not see anything in their points that might be a way or a means to escape. You don't see any hatches or anything obviously visible.
Bollocks.
Could I ask just a quick question?
Sure.
That is not relevant yet, but may soon be. Would an ion grenade work against something that is cyborg in nature, that might have mechanical or electronic enhancements like these?
Maybe. You don't know.
Okay.
I mean, you know that it can have effects on cybernetic implants. You would know that just from your general experience in the galaxy, but it would depend on how well those implants were built. They could be protected against it. It just depends on how they're getting their power too.
Right.
Might disrupt them for a minute or two.
To be careful of my comrades, I guess.
That's true. That too.
Yeah, Eitram. Let's see. I'm not even sure what the range is. It's short, so I guess I'd have to make sure Eitram is out of my range if I decided to use one against these things.
Right, or maybe get it out into the hallway.
Yeah.
Where the door is between you and him, or it and him.
Yep. Okay, something to keep in mind.
And I will remind you that you have light side points you can spend.
Could Shock also take a quick look around?
Sure.
And what was the roll? Did you say it was a perception?
Yes, perception roll.
Cunning. Okay. And what was the difficulty? Normal?
2.
2, okay. Man.
Whoa, no, shot don't see anything either. Okay.
Yeah, we're not perceptive tonight.
No, you're not. Let's see here. I'm almost afraid to roll with each. I'm going to roll one just to see. I don't know if it lets me. There's definitely something up tonight. There we go. It's like stuff isn't loading in on my side too. Okay. Difficulty roll. Boom! The door caves in a little bit further. And then there's a shrill rending sound as another set of gashes come down. As you see sparks of electricity coming off these gashes as they form in the door.
I'm gonna check for somewhere where it's thin, where I think it'd be easy to punch through into another part of the ship.
Okay. So you get a little bit further down through there, looking through room, Roxy, based on your knowledge of computers and that sort of thing, and ship designs, and just being a part of the galaxy as a whole. And you spot 2 potential places you could use. There is a place it would be just a little bit further up the hall from where the next 2 are at, where you could cut in and go into the hallway. And there's another one that would take a little bit longer, but it looks like you may be able to cut into the bridge, the deck above you, and go literally from the ceiling here into the floor above.
Can I give a quick estimation
Sure.
of time?
Yeah, just a mechanics check.
Mechanics. Here we go.
Nice.
You think it would take you with your plasma torch maybe 5 minutes to cut through this deck, but you also know that there's the deck. You know that there's going to be a crawl space or a gap between a tween deck before you get to the next deck, and it would take you another 5 minutes to cut through that deck. Now you don't, but what you don't know, because you don't know this ship's designs from this era that well, how big that tween deck is. In some ships, that tween deck area is big enough that where a medium-sized person, like even someone as big as Shock, could crawl up in that tween deck area. Some ships it's much smaller depending on the vessel. This is a pretty big vessel, so maybe you could fit between the tween decks. So 5 minutes to cut through this one and 5 minutes to cut through that. The downside is because you've previously used the torch, you think it has enough fuel to cut through both deck plates. You're not 100% sure.
The hallway that I'd be cutting into,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be close to where the next. Well, it must be a bit close, mustn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a little close to them. It'd be a good probably 4 or 5 meters up the hall from them.
So, Shock has a toolkit that contains, I guess, might contain a fusion cutter and/or laser. Is that something that could also be used if push came to shove and we were not all the way through before?
Your toolkit carries more wrenches and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Though,
I'm just reading the detailed description in the gear.
So. Yeah. So unless it's in there, and I just didn't see it.
Well, it says. I mean, it gives a list of things that could be in it, I guess, as standard tools. Which included, and the list does include like a fusion cutter, which I'm not sure how that compares to what Roxy's using.
It's a little slower than what Roxy's using.
Okay.
A little slower. Roxy actually has a plasma torch. It's more designed to cut through thicker stuff faster.
Yeah. That was smart of Roxy to get that. I guess I should have gotten one too.
Okay. I'm going to take a quick break. I've made the hint twice now. You have light side points. You can always spend a light side point to affect the story to say, wasn't it a good idea that Shock picked up another plasma cutter too? Or you could say, oh, look, this panel slides out, this computer slides out, and there's an access panel behind it.
I like that idea because then we don't have to spend time
So that's
heading
the
through
that's
bulkheads.
that's the benefit of those light side dark side points. Granted, it gives me one to spin back, but
Yeah, I wasn't aware that they were that good. I knew they could be a bit good.
yeah, they're that good.
Well, maybe it's time to do that.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Okay, so go ahead and spin it and tell me what you're spinning on, and then we'll spin the story from there.
I mean, I feel like finding a pre-existing exit point would be better than trying to just have an extra
Yeah.
door and make our own.
Okay.
So,
Exit.
So someone spin the point there.
how do we spin it? We just click
On it.
first?
There you go. Now it gives me a dark side point. So Yitram turns around and points. I was going to use him since he's the one not physically here. And he goes, that console swings out. There's a door behind it. And he points at a console on the far side of the room. And as you all walk over, as whoever's over there goes around and swings it out, there's a boom and another horrible renting sound. There's now enough rents in the door that the Nexu can now get their paws more through it, and they're starting to get their muzzle through it. And as that panel slides aside, there's not a door behind it, but rather a door in the ceiling, a hatch.
So that would go up into the bridge. Is that what you're saying?
It would go up, yeah.
Yeah, or at least up anyway. Okay. Can Shock? Is the door open enough for Shock to throw an ion grenade through it or attempt
Yeah.
to do that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So he's going to do that. So that would be what sort of skill would that be? Let me see here.
It'd just be a ranged attack. That's what it would be.
It's light ranged.
Light ranged. Okay.
Yeah,
Got
light
it.
ranged with 2 setbacks to try to hit that little tiny hole.
All right. Now, quick question. I guess it depends on my roll, but if it doesn't hit the hole, is it going to bounce back?
It bounce back in.
Okay.
Well, more than likely, depending on what the roll is. But
Okay.
one outcome would be a bounce back in. One outcome might be it's stuck in the hole.
Gotcha. So, Shock's going to roar out to Eitram to get up through the hatch because he's getting ready to set off an ion grenade.
Eitram goes scuttling up the hatch and up the ladder and into the crawl space.
Okay.
Imagine your droid goes with him.
Yes, my translator droid will be conveying messages as he quickly follows behind Eitram. And then once he sees that they're hopefully safely enough out of range, if it does bounce back in, he'll go ahead and try to aim one through the rent.
Okay, just give me a ranged attack, like I said, with 2 black setback on it. There we go. So I didn't plan it at all. Success, 1 success, 1 threat. Okay. Now I gotta pull your ion grenade up just for curiosity.
Yeah, it is possible it will have no effect, but I'm hoping it'll do something to slow
The ion
them down.
grenade, much like a blaster ion gun, the advantage of the ion grenade is that all droids caught in the blast radius are affected. Allowing these to disable mechanical targets at once. Great care must be taken in the vicinity. Yeah. Well, it's not much here. It doesn't. Okay. Range is short on it. Crit is a 5. You did not crit. Okay. So the grenade goes beautifully sailing through the hole into the rent, and you hear it bang off the metal slightly and fall just outside the door. You hear the snuffling of the Nexu back. You in your mind, you picture the Nexu backing up just a little bit, and the snuffling, and then the pop, and you see the blue Arcatine flash of an ion pulse going out. The snuffling seems to stop for a second, and you hear scurrying as what you visualize in your mind is the Nexu running away from that grenade.
Okay. So, right, but they're still mobile and working, so it would just frighten them essentially. Is that kind of what?
That's what from what you can tell, it's only frightened them. You can't see much through that rent's the problem.
Gotcha.
I have discovered one downside to moving my microphone to the other side of the desk. It hides the rolls.
Okay. Well, that might have perhaps bought us a little more time anyway.
Okay.
So, Shock will turn to Roxy and then kind of give a shrug, like I don't know. And then I don't know. Is Roxy heading for the hatch, or do you want?
Oh
Shock
yeah,
to-
she's already climbing up there.
Okay, Shock will head right behind her.
Okay.
Then.
So behind you find yourself in a crawl space that runs the length of the deck, and it's mainly used like for network wiring, power cabling, that sort of thing. It's pretty tight for you, Shock. I mean, it's not horribly tight, but it's not made for Wookiees. Like many things in the galaxy, is not made for Wookiees. Yutrim, who is leading the way, has went so far, went a bit up and a bit away from where the Nexu are at, and from the console, and he's crawling on all fours, but he's very mobile in the way he's doing it. He's articulated his arms and legs, so he looks almost like a spider going up through there. And then he stops, lowers himself down, and rotates his arms in a way that would be very unnatural on any kind of living being. And he flips a hatch switch and slides it aside and lifts himself up. And you see his head peek just above it for a second. And you hear him say, "Clear." And he raises himself up and disappears through this other hatch.
So we're doing sort of a dog leg through the crawl space. Is that the idea?
Yep.
Okay. And into a new hatch.
Yep. And he went up, not down.
Gotcha. All right. I guess assuming Roxy's in front of me, I guess I'll wait for Roxy to decide what she's gonna do.
I'm following after.
Okay. So you guys follow after, and you find yourself clambering out. When you come out, you find yourself standing on a expansive deck. To the one end, toward what would be the bow of the vessel, based on, remember the decks are kind of canted too, because the ship's not laying perfectly flat.
Sorry. One quick note. Shock would have been, if possible at least, closing the hatches behind him as he went along. Just to make
All right.
that clear.
Excellent.
Okay. Yep.
So as you arrive and you find yourself standing on this deck in this room, and the deck is probably 2 or 3 decks high compared to the other decks in the ship. And it's covered on the front section, and the port and the starboard section is covered with floor to ceiling windows. Transparent steel panes. You see what at one point had probably been an array of consoles that now have been stripped of all their parts. And you can see a number of the transparent steel panes have been shattered, probably in the crash landing. Others have been totally removed.
But obviously removed in a careful way to
Yes.
preserve them. Okay.
Yeah. Obviously removed in a way to preserve what they were, but they've been removed from the frame of the ship itself. You find yourself standing on what must once have been the bridge of the Sa Nalor.
And just since I wasn't here last session, our goal in the previous room before the Nexu attacked was to access the ship's computer system, or what were we trying to do in that room?
They were. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead, Roxy. Sorry.
Oh yeah, we were just trying to find more sort of like secure logs, because there wasn't anything in the other one, so we thought more secure room, maybe they'll have more information in it.
But this is our first time on the bridge, though, right? We haven't been here
Yes.
before. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any obvious, like, sort of captain chair, navigator console or something? That would be like
There are the places where they obviously would have been, but the ones that there's a couple that are still there that are wrecked. Were destroyed in the crash itself. Something obviously broke loose on the bridge at some point and slammed into some of the consoles. Probably occurred during the crash itself. The other consoles are gutted. There's nothing in them. They've been removed, in some cases, right down to the floor.
Looks like there were survivors and someone stripped the ship. Shock will observe through his translator droid.
And that's consistent with what you all have been seeing elsewhere.
The what are the exits out of the bridge?
There is a pair of turbolifts that come up to the bridge on the rear, which will be a direct, a direct way past the deck that you were just on. There is also a hatchway at the rear that leads down a ramp that goes into the deck below. Standing on that ramp is a large, furry, white beast with a V whipped tail. And it almost grins at you, Shock, whenever you notice it, and you see it's all metal teeth.
Shocked as the old, palm and the face plant. Like, jeez. All right. So and now there's not even a door in between us and the creature. Nice. I was sort of thinking if this was gonna happen, if they were just gonna run up to the bridge once we got up there, but I was hoping maybe they were separated by some security.
Well, there's only one. You're only seeing one.
Okay. Gotcha.
Bad thing is, might not be the same one of the three.
Well, that means there'd be two with metal teeth, I guess. But yeah, you're right. There could be more than three. Well, I mean, what is it doing? It's just standing there looking at
It's just standing there looking at you at the moment.
Okay.
I'll do this so you guys know that it's the one you're dealing with right there.
And what's the range band?
He is at. Well, actually, here, let's do this. I'll do this. Probably do it anyway. No, not that screen. Need my folders. As soon as it lets me. What? Okay, hold on. I'm going to refresh myself. It's being stupid on my end. It's telling me to re-enter my API key. Oh, apparently it's logged me out.
I'm thinking now that we should have just waited where we were and killed them one by one as they came through the door.
Or shot through the holes.
Yeah. That's what we get for burning our.
Well, it was a good idea, at least.
We're going to escape, yeah.
I mean, who knew a bridge wouldn't be secure?
Well, the fact there's only one gives me some faint hope that maybe the ion grenade actually had an effect on the other two, based on where their particular enhancements were, or something of that sort. Like, you can't really disable metal teeth, right? But you could.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that actually was part of the problem. Is most what they're enhanced with is just enhances their natural abilities, not. There we go.
I was hoping there was like some kind of control chip in their brain.
Yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been very nice to fry that.
Okay. Now, can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure before I start adjusting things. Okay, I'm going to put you guys in the middle like we've done before. I'll put you guys in the middle. And those two aren't present. I'm just going to move them out of the way. And he is standing about right there. He is only one range band away from you. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. Actually, let me get these two guys off the screen for the moment. And go ahead and bring up your panel under the fist there for combat, and go ahead and give me initiative rolls.
We can choose vigilance or cool, right?
Yep. In this case, it would probably be well, let's choose either, honestly.
Okay.
In this case. Roll
Any
cat.
setbacks, none of that is okay.
No setbacks, nothing. As soon as your game master remembers how to pop out the stupid tracker so you can see the chat and the tracker at the same time. There we go. And I'll roll Etrims. Okay, there's our rolls, which make no sense until I do this. Oh, looky, the hostiles get to go first.
Oh joy. The good thing is, at least for right now, there's 3 of us and 1 of it, so maybe that'll help out.
Maybe. Never know. Let's see if that's going to work like it's supposed to today. Okay, so I got my popcorn initiative up on it. It wasn't working properly last session, so we'll see how it goes. Luckily, I got the encounter group small. So the next 2, standing on the, as you turn around, it kind of bound and spot it stock. It's kind of because it just slunk into position at the bottom of that ramp. It makes a chuffing sound, and then it closes the distance between you guys. And I'm just going to drop him right there. He moves into the same range band as you. Let's see. And it will lunge at Shock. Your equipment. Try to bite him. In the same range band, that's just an average difficulty. No setback here on this, so that's all I get. Ouch!
Yeah, that ain't great. So let's see. Soak is 6, so that means 8.
8, yeah.
So, and the way the wounds work, I count them up until I get to the threshold, right? Okay.
Correct.
All right. So I'm at 10 now of it, but I'm not at my threshold yet.
Yeah. This means you're hurt, not damaged. And it also, Pierce plus 1 actually is another point of damage. But that should be that's factored in, so you're good to go.
Okay, so it is 8 total damage if I had 6 soak, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So it bites into those nasty, sharpened metal teeth, and it has you in its mouth like a dog with a bone. And that brings it around to, I'll just do this.
Oh.
Actually, it'll just be one of them, but that's okay. They're both going to move in the range on the next round. So that brings it around to you guys. Oh, I didn't begin combat. There we go. Friendlies. What are you up to? Who's moving first and who's doing what?
Whenever Shock moves, he's gonna probably pull out his Rick blades and go after the thing that's got hold of him.
Okay.
But I can wait if Roxy
Nah.
have good.
Roxy's like, no.
You go first. It
No,
makes sense.
I'm gonna give you a bonus die to try to hit this thing because it's got you in its mouth. I mean, you obviously should be able to hit it.
Okay, so that would be a boost.
That'd be a boost die, yeah, a blue die.
Okay. Difficulty still 2?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Nice. Only 1 success, which works, but 6 advantage. Okay, so that's 7 points of damage to the booger. Wound, and he has a 3 wound, so 4. Okay, and I gotta check something. Oh, see why my dark side points get moved down there? It's because I had to reload.
Who flipped the light?
You got 6 advantage on that. And your critical damage is only at 2. It's 2, so you can inflict a critical on him if you want.
Why would I not do that? Would there be any reason not to?
No. So your choice is we can either roll on the critical hit table, see what happens, or you can apply just 10 more points of damage to him.
Oh, let's roll on the table. That sounds fun.
Okay. Critical roll. Let me pull it up
I may
here.
regret that decision, but nonetheless, I want to see what this table can do for
By the
us.
way, you've flipped a point.
Oh, I did,
Yeah,
didn't I?
the game master flipped up one of our light points.
Sorry, that's when I moved things. Oh,
Now you flipped another and another.
there we go. That back's right? Yeah, that's right.
I believe so. Yes, that should be right.
That's when I moved it up through there. I drug in the middle instead of grabbing the bars. Okay, so critical injury table. No modifier. Roll critical. Ooh, fearsome wound.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
So the description is the target increases the difficulty of all presence and willpower checks by 1 until the end of the encounter. It also, there's no modifiers on it. So here's the cool thing, I can actually drag those boogers over. So it now shows up on its characteristics for me, so I know it's there. You're supposed to drag them over and put them on there for me. There we go. Okay.
Shock lets out a mighty roar after that strike.
Okay.
And the translator droid says, untranslatable.
Anything else out of shock?
He can't probably move, right? Because he's fixed in place.
When you stabbed it, hitting it that bad, it let go of you.
Oh, good. Okay, so that's cool. On the other hand, there might be some advantage to staying engaged with this one.
Right.
If only
One of the
to keep
biggest
the other ones
being, since you're engaged, it's only going to be 1 difficulty to attack him
Right.
because you're
Yeah,
engaged.
so I guess I'll stay put then.
Well, as long as you're using light weapons, 2 if you're using. Actually, you look off the right, you can see it attacks a bonus, or a bonus die or blue die plus 1 purple for that range. Okay. So you're staying put. I've already done that. I'm going to mark it off on my popcorn over here, which you guys really can't see. That's just the other Nexus moving into position. That brings around either Yeecham or Roxy.
I'm gonna draw both my blaster,
Okay.
my blaster and my slug thrower, and do what I did before and help Shock try and shoot the one off him.
Okay. Excellent. Let's see it.
I'm gonna use aim as well, so I'm not gonna move.
Okay.
So that should boost it.
Yep.
Yeah. Habuski.
Let's see. Oh, nice. Okay, you didn't pull up a critical, but you did do 7 points of damage to it, minus whatever its soak is, but still. That moves it to that. This one does not look happy. It has not had a good day. It's looking rather injured and ragged at this point. Let's see what it does when we move away. So, okay, and we did not do enough to get the other gun to hit, did you, Roxy?
No, so I imagine the bullet goes wide.
Yeah. That's the way she fired both guns. So from your point of view, Shock, you slash out with your reek blade. As it's letting go, you hear the twin bursts of a blaster and a slug thrower pistol going off at close range to you.
Alrighty.
And that brings it around to Yeetram. Let's see what Yeetram got. Yeetram has a blaster pistol. He will shoot at this same one that's attacking Shock. He's in the same range. Honestly, probably should have gave a setback to Roxy on that one because Shot being that close. But I'm going to add it now to Yeetram since I just not thought of that. But that's my fault. So Doesn't matter. It didn't affect anything. Look at that. Oh my God, you guys are awesome tonight. Each turn his blaster pistol sounds off for 10 slamming into it. No, wrong next to. And no, I'm doing this the hard way. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. That next suit goes limp on the ground.
That's good stuff.
That's what I thought. It's not really supposed to. So that brings it back around. Actually, that was that. Well, doesn't matter. Why are those not showing? Oh, I can see them. So actually, I'm going to remove that one from it. There we go. Okay, so I pulled one of them out of the thing because it's obviously dead. One of the other next two comes into range, closing on Roxy, not moving to engage, just into close range with Roxy, moving each from up here and kind of get in the middle. It whips its tail around and tries to go for Roxy. And it misses, so it doesn't matter what it says in there. You can see the notes in chat. And that brings it to one of you guys.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
we're good.
Roxy.
I'm gonna shoot this thing. Sorry if
Okay.
this thing just went against me.
Okay, go for it. Charles, move.
Yeah, I'm gonna aim as well.
Okay.
So that's been working well. And
Yep. Remember, any threats you generate goes towards your stream. I've just applied that to each.
yeah.
Nice. Not to succeed, but you succeed with one advantage. Not enough to set off your thing. You just fired the one pistol, right?
Well, I'm trying to fire. I'm firing both, so
Okay.
I'll
assume you're firing both unless you tell me.
Yeah, I'm just wasting bullets essentially.
Okay, doesn't matter because the blaster's hitting at least. 3, so 5. Okay. Slams into that one. That brings it around to one of the hostiles' turn, which is not staying hidden for some stupid reason. He's already went. This one moves up. I'm going to move this one just down out of the way here. Moves up. Which one is this? This one's the claws. Oh, yeah. This one's the claws. He takes a claw swipe at Shock. Oh. Shock, you're getting the worst of this tonight. Hold on, I gotta look those claws up.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So I can, if I don't move, I can use that maneuver to apply a stim pack.
Yes,
right?
you can.
Okay. If I have anything left, which I'm not sure I do.
Because the electrical damage doesn't appear to be working on the claws. Probably something with someone's ion grenade.
Oh, that's nice. That's something.
However, it still does 12 points of damage. And it had 4 successes, which means it got a crit.
Oh boy.
On you. So let me see what it got here. So it's still a 12.
Additional wounds, or is that going to be?
It doesn't actually apply wounds. When they get a crit, it goes to the crit table.
Crit table, okay.
Yeah.
Because I've only got 2 wounds left before I'm at my threshold.
Yep. And let's roll the critical here. Yeah. Okay. So I had you lose your free maneuver until the end of the encounter.
Okay.
So yelling or talking or things like that, you can't do that until the end of the encounter.
Okay.
See, some of them aren't that bad, but now here's the downside. Now I'm going to put a marker on just so we remember. Trying to find a decent one in here because these are more D&D markers than they are for Star Wars. There, I'll do the little bleeding. Here's the crutch. Until you get that critical injury, actually, I should be able to drag this over on you. Let's see if it'll work. Let's see what put on your sheet. Talents, biography. Okay, it's not showing in your sheet like I want it to. That's okay. You have the hamstring, and if I pull this, I can't share it. I'll just leave it up on the screen so I know it's there. So you lose your free maneuver until the end of the encounter. But here's the catch. If another one gets a critical on you, I have to add 10 to the roll.
Gotcha.
And the further up that critical table you go, the more, like at 100, roll 149 on the critical table is death.
Gotcha. So adding 10 is not good.
Yeah, and that critical, though you can use stim packs to get back the health, you still got to deal with that critical at some point. It lingers until you deal with it. Okay. That was the hostile's turn. Brings around to a friendly turn, which leaves either shock or Eatrum.
Either way is fine with me.
No, I want you to go ahead since Eatrum's actually not here. It's back to back, so it don't matter.
I'll do a reek blade attack on the
one that hit you.
One that, they just hit me.
Okay.
And am I still? Let's see, that's still one boost because we're in the same range band, or
you're not. You're not in. You don't get a boost for mid range. That was because you were. No, that's because he had you in his mouth.
And we were physically like, one creature for a few minutes. Okay, gotcha. All right, here we go then.
Oh, nice. So this one takes. Okay. Okay. Sure I got down the right one. Yep, I did. Make sure I didn't put it on shock. That would have been bad. And you take one strain shock from that threat that you generated there.
One strain.
Yep. Just the stress of the situation. Okay, and then brings around to. No, I don't want to hide Eatrum.
So in theory, if I had the stim pack, I could apply it, or is that what the free maneuver thing took away?
Free maneuver is more like talking or yelling, all that. Stim pack would be an action. Like you kind of burnt your action. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Yes, I understand. All right.
It's okay. We're all learning. Eatrum is going to fire at the one next to Roxy. Man, I'm wearing my guys out. Who are you? He hits it. He doesn't get enough criticals. Okay, no threat, so no strain for him. Okay. And that brings it around the top of the round. The one, hold on a minute. What's the damage? One next to you, Shock.
Yeah.
He tries to claw you. Oops. He's not very bright. He doesn't realize the claws aren't working, but as normal claws. Oh, that hits.
Yeah, so that definitely exceeds my wound threshold.
So you go down.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, do I add all of that to?
No. Just go up to your.
Just go up to the threshold.
To the threshold, yeah, and you go in capped. You go down.
Okay.
Okay, which means you're unconscious. And this is more thematic than anything. After it claws at you and you go down, it looks at you, sniffs at you, and starts looking around the room at the others because it's within range of anybody. So, and that brings it to Roxy or Yeatram.
Go. I'm
Okay.
gonna try and blast it again.
Okay.
Aim. Double shot.
I'm assuming the one by you.
Oh yeah, the one that took a swipe.
Yeah.
Dang.
And you haven't hit. Yeah, that second one. You're hitting. At least you're regularly hitting. You're just not hitting with. What'd the bonus come from? Oh, were you aimed?
Aiming.
You aimed. Okay, so you hit though. So. Okay. It does not look good, but it is still attacking and moving. And since it was just attacked, we'll use it. This one is tail. He tries to claw you, Roxy. Tell me about the dice. Ooh.
I'm ducking and weaving.
Yeah, you're ducking me. He missed, but look at that triumph.
Does he slice down the pipe or something? Or
Well, no, he still missed. But he'll provide advantage to one of his allies' next attacks. I think that's the way I can do that for him.
He's pushing me towards the other one.
Yeah, he's pushing toward the other one. Yeah, there we go. Causing you, well, it's not so much pushing you. He swiped, but you're ducking and weaving causes you to back up, and you actually back up and you stop whenever you realize your heels are against shock, and you realize, holy crap, shock's on the ground. And that brings us around to Yeatram. Yeatram moves over close to shock. I'm going to do this, and gets within engage range with you, shock. And please tell me he has one in his backpack. He does not. Crap. He starts fumbling through your gear looking for a stim pack.
I think I might be out also. It was 0 in my gear list for the quantity, so I don't know if it got used up.
They did use one of your. Yep, you are out,
Yeah,
but he does not realize that, so he is looking through your gear. He has repair patches, but that's not going to help you.
No, that won't do it.
I yell to him, left cheek in mine, left cheek.
Okay. He turns and looks at you, nods, but he has to get close. Well, actually, he's right there because you guys are all because you're engaged too, because of the back.
Yeah, no, I backed up all the way to shock.
Yeah, so you feel Yeatram's hand running around in your pack, grab it, but he didn't have time to apply because all the time there. But he has one for the next round. Shock can't do anything because he's unconscious. Hostile. Okay, this one gets advantage. This is the one that's over top of. Well, you guys are kind of bracketed at this point by the two next to. This one. Oh, he's going to claw at Yeatram, who is interfering with his dinner. Okay, so he claws at Yeatram into no avail. He misses Yeatram because at the same time he goes to make his swipe for it is whenever Roxy says left cheek and Yeatram leans forward and the claw goes over his head. His entire head rotates backward to see it. The claw go over his head, and you hear him make some kind of undignified response. You weren't aware until presently that droids could utter those words in the common language, and that brings it around to the party. Do you want me to have Yeatram go, Roxy, or you go?
Yeah, Yeatram should go.
Yeatram grabs the stim pack and slaps it on Shock. Shock.
Yeah.
You gain back 3. 3. Because that's your third stim pack of the day.
So reduce wounds by 3.
Not reduce it by 3. You go to 3.
Oh, I go down.
Oh, yeah, down the track by 3. Yeah.
Oh, from so
From
if
your
I was,
from your
if
from
I
your
was at my
top, whatever your top
threshold,
was, -3.
-3. Okay, yes, I thought. All right.
But you are awake now, because of course you're prone, so you'll have to stand up, obviously. But you are
Right.
awake. You come to and you see Yeatram over top of you, slapping a stim pack with a stim pack jabbed into your side. You have a Nexu on one side of you, Roxy on the other side of you, with a Nexu looking at Roxy. The Nexu looking at Roxy, which is the next thing to go, tries to
With
bite
its
Roxy.
boost.
Yep. Actually, the boost should have been in the last one. I forgot it, so I'm not going to do that.
But it attacked Yeatram, didn't it?
Yeah, but I didn't
Oh.
I didn't use the boost on it.
Oh, you can use the boost on me.
Okay. If you insist. He's going to claw at you. He'll do a boost on it. Roll. Sure you want that boost? Didn't matter. The boost didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So 6 points of damage as it swipes a claw into you. This one does not have the razor claws.
-2 for soak.
Yep. So 4. Okay. And that brings around to your turn, Roxy.
Yep. I'm gonna double shot.
I'll actually be yours or Shock's, to be honest, because Shock's awake now. But,
Yeah, go. Let Roxy can go, and then
Yeah.
I'll go.
Okay.
Gonna aim and shoot. Double shot. Dang.
You have not hit that critical yet. Oh, wait. You just did. 2 successes.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot. I got mixed up between successes and advantages. Wait. Yeah.
Actually, I think it's advantage, but I'll play it off success. So give me the damage off the blaster. Well, actually, hold on a minute. Yeah, it don't matter. That's not the one I want. One of these I'll learn. Okay, that one drops. So your shots drop that one. You got 1 left. That brings it around. Unless Roxy's going to move, that brings around the Shock.
I aimed, so I can't.
Yep, that's right. She did. So Shock, what are you doing? You're on the ground.
So I can use my movement to stand up, and then I can still attack, or how does that?
You could do that, or you could shoot from prone. And since your attacker is standing and you're prone, that would actually give you a boost, believe it or not.
And this would be considered point blank, which I have the point
Right.
tower.
And that's where I'm actually pulling the boost from, is because it's literally on top of you. It'd be hard for you to miss this thing at this range.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'll do that then. So bowcaster right in the face.
Right in the face.
And you said 1 boost.
Yep, give a boost on it.
All right.
It'd be only point blank, so it'd be an easy.
So that's 1 difficulty or 0?
Yep, 1 difficulty.
Okay.
Nice. 13 with 3 advantage on it.
Didn't quite get the critical.
No, I didn't quite get the critical, but still did crap ton of damage to it. It is not happy. There's a huge gaping hole in it. It's under on its belly by its shoulder. It lets out a pitiful moan and whine. Realizes it's outnumbered and losing badly. It disengages from you and moves 1 range band away. It's fleeing back down that ramp.
All right, Yeatram, finish him.
Yeatram standing there, raises up, more than happy to tolerate. Okay, so that's going to be 1 more difficulty because it's out of range. Those advantages I'm going to translate as a boost for Yeatram, since you didn't trigger the thing. Actually, can I give him 2 boosts? Because that's 2 advantage. No, can't do that, but I can do a boost. Okay. Roll. Eachern's blaster makes a stutter sound as it fires.
And that is a crit, right?
Yes. That is a crit on it. That really didn't matter because that put it over between threshold anyway.
Cool.
And it drops to the ground. Eachern looks down to you and makes a smart-ass remark. Squishy. Need more med pack.
Shock kind of groans and lays back down prone. He doesn't really seem to be in a big hurry to get up yet. He's still only a couple of wounds shy of his threshold, so he's not feeling too great.
Pull that off the screen.
Hand me the knife.
What's that?
I'm just, I want to buy you a knife.
You want to buy my Reek blade? Is that what you're saying?
Just borrow it. Just borrow it.
Shock kind of pulls it closer and resheathes it and gives you a distrustful glare.
Just need something to cut into these things. I want to see if there's a transmitter in them.
Shock kind of rolls his eyes and slowly gets to his feet, and he'll move over to whichever one is closest to him and start dissecting it.
And as you're saying that, Eachern extends his hand toward you and hands you a vibro knife.
Oh, well, that'll work too.
He actually has two. I was just checking his inventory to make sure.
He's giving it to Roxy, I presume.
Yeah.
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 I'll dissect another one.
Okay.
Just while Shock's dissecting one.
Okay, so those rolls, and I assume you're looking for transmitter, right?
Yeah. Just in case.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm trying to think what's going to be the best thing here, because it's kind of it's a cybernetic issue. Now, normally I'd say this would be a cybernetics check. If you have cybernetics, it would be a cybernetics check. If you do not, it's going to be either a medicine check or just a straight intelligence check, depending on which you have. And the difficulty will be try to locate a transmitter and all that goop and mess is a standard difficulty average.
I don't think there's much difference for me. I'll just do the medicine check, I
Okay.
guess. Because medicine is an intelligence-based skill, and I don't have
Right.
an actual skill level in it, so it's really no different. Okay, and sorry, what was the difficulty? 2?
Two purple. Yeah. These things are dead, and you're not being delicate or trying to recover a specific thing. You're just mucking about inside it to see if you can find a transmitter. With your bit of mucking it, you don't seem to find one in yours. I'm assuming that's Roxy's rolling in. Roxy, I'll take 2 strain off that 2 shock.
Oh, okay.
From the threat. Roxy, you muck around in yours a bit. You flip the cap open, because it had like a partial metal skull cap on one side. You see quite a bit of cybernetic wiring, and so do you, Shock, when you're fooling with yours. Quite a bit of cybernetic enhancements and wiring. The work is brilliant. It's well executed, even though it looks like it was made with probably leftover parts and spare parts and things like that. The work is impeccable in what you're looking at and rummaging through. Not that it matters to you as you just casually take the vibroblades and flipping things out of the way and looking for a transmitter. You don't seem to find a transmitter in either one of them.
Okay. I changed tack. I'm gonna hand back the knife to Yitram, and then I'm going to attach my slicing gear to this cybernetic system. See what I can pull from there.
Okay. So give me a. Now that's gonna be a little bit more difficult. Not the attaching part, but what you're trying to slice through its control systems and make heads or tails out of what you're seeing. 3 purple on that, with 1 setback, because you were slicing around with the vibroblade before. You may have possibly damaged something.
Although there is a third creature if we wanted to start with the fresh.
That is true. If you want to start with the fresh one, we can do that. If that's the case, no setback.
I'll start with the fresh one.
Then no setback.
I'm just seeing if I've got anything that reduces the difficulty. God, where? Code breaker checks to break codes, communication to grip. No, that's the communications.
Yeah.
That would only be useful if I found the raking transmitter. Okay.
Yeah, if you found a transmitter, that might be useful.
Yeah. Okay. And the other one's defensive slicing. So,
Yeah.
just wanted to check.
No,
So
fair enough.
computers, free difficulty.
Yep.
Roll.
Oh,
But I do have my reroll for that one per session,
that you do. If you
and
want to
I
use
feel
it,
this could be
important. Okay,
this could be good
go ahead and re-roll it.
to use it on.
Like D&D, I'll take the better of the two rolls. Oh,
Yeah,
we'll
I
definitely
get
take
one
that roll.
strain.
Yeah, picking up one strain because spend quite a bit of time rummaging around in there, and finally you find you link into it, and it doesn't take long, and you find the code that controls the cybernetics. You know, the actual that translates the electrical impulses from the brain of the Nexu to its enhanced ones. And the one you're working on is the one that has the metal teeth. Though it appears there was some other enhancements buried in its body that wasn't as evident as the teeth themselves. And you just rummage around, you find the code, and you start scrumming through the code. The first thing you notice is the coding style is old. It's an older cybernetic encoding language, one dating back to the Clone Wars, probably. The other thing you notice, you start picking up, because this is kind of your profession, Roxy, you start picking up on the tales of the coders. Anytime anybody writes a coding language, they have habits and techniques. A lot of coders will leave syntax hidden in their code so that people know it's their code. And you actually run across a section of syntax code in there that basically is the coder's signature. And the name, and you're the one that had the background on the ship to begin with. So give me a history check with two boost, two blue. Be two purple with two blue on it.
History.
Yep.
Uh,
you were the one that.
That's knowledge skills, right?
Yeah, it's knowledge skill.
Core world education law.
Core world would work.
Or underworld.
Either or. Which you had the better, core or under, whichever you had the better score for. Looks like underworld looking at your sheet.
Yeah. Yeah, I've also got it. Yeah, it's underworld.
Okay. Yeah. So an underworld roll with two purple and two blue.
Or I guess Outer Rim also works since it's probably written by a separatist.
Right, that would work too.
They're both the same.
Yeah.
Two boost. Two difficulty, did you say?
Yep, two difficulty. It's just recalling information you know. Oh. So
my god.
that's what I thought too. I was like, oh my gosh. So 6 advantage, but you still failed the roll. Wow. So the name you pull up is Carlotta. Let me get the name off my information so I can put it in chat for you. I'm sorry, Cartala. I said it wrong. You vaguely remember. Okay, apparently I'm talking as Roxy. So that kind of works. You find a set of referencing code in there to a person or a coder by the name of Cartala.
Cartala, where have I heard that name? Oh, I'll have to look it up later. Do I see any? Do I see any are the sensors of the creature being recorded onto like a database?
Not that you can tell, no. It appears that based on the coding, it appears whoever this Cartala is, they enhance the Nexu's physical attributes. In this case, the teeth. The other one was the tail, the electrical claws, as well as some other higher brain functions were enhanced with cybernetic implants, so they would follow commands better. And basically, it looks like they turned these things into a form of a living um, sentry that would be loyal to them, possibly, based on what you read on the code.
If these are a sentry, then someone's got to be close. Let's get back to the ship. Because ain't nothing here.
Are we we've done enough of a search of the ship, we're pretty confident there's not any little hidey holes where someone could still be living? Although it would seem strange to strip the ship and still live here. So
Well, the other thing that they found too, and this was another session, they found evidence of campfires and temporary structures outside the hull, underneath the arc of the hull, that was there at some point. And that they encountered a number of places where this stuff had been stripped away, including the power plants and things like that. So no, they haven't per se investigated more than maybe probably 10% of the habitable areas of the hull, but based on the amount of rust, deterioration, things like that, it wouldn't be a safe place to live. The ship itself is almost at a 30-degree cant sitting on the ground. And you guys are constantly hearing creaks and groans and things like that as support members, rest and settle and that sort of thing.
Okay, so whoever they were, they took what they needed and left.
Yep, that would be the impression you're receiving so far, correct?
All right, well, Shock is all for getting back to the ship, or hopefully he can do some healing.
Okay. So are you going to go back down through the ship, or are you going to go out one of the windows and work your way down the outer structure of the vessel?
How far is it? Do we have enough rope for that?
Probably.
I mean, Shark, do you want to try climbing down on the outside, or shall we go through the tubes?
Probably the outside. He does have climbing gear.
Yeah, but you did fall, mate.
True, but
Three
wait, I thought he
decks.
fell. I thought he fell within the ship.
He did, climbing down a rope.
Oh. Okay,
A rope that you tied, I might add.
I gotcha. So I didn't catch that he actually fell from a rope. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. In that case, he might feel better going down a non-rope path.
Okay, well,
possible.
from the point of view you're at, some dirt and stuff was showed up in the crash, and you can get out of the windows here, a little bit of clambering, get down on the hull. And if you look at the picture of the sound on the left hand side of the screen there, that outer hull has a slope to it, so you could almost sit on the slope or walkway or carefully move your way down that slope and get to the bottom with a minimum of difficulty. Probably the one that have the most difficulty will be Eitrim, being a droid.
Okay.
It also looks like a nice slide.
Yeah.
That's an option too, of course. By the way, now that you can see the sky and you're not worried about, being bitten to death or clawed to death, you realize that you've been in the ship far longer than you thought. Though it was morning when you went in, it's probably well past midday now.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we should take the quick way outside of the ship then.
Okay. So give me a I'm gonna pull Yeetram up here. Get to his characteristics. Give me a coordination check with 3 purple. I'll roll Yeetram's. This is just for you getting down. Difficulty is 3. Eatram's gonna kill me. Oh, perfect. So as you're about halfway down the thing, and when you get down, you do the clambering, to get off the bridge and all that, and Eatram has no trouble there. It's when he gets to the slope, he steps out on the slope, and just as Roxy said, looks like a nice slide. Well, Eatram proves that it is a nice slide because he takes a misstep, lands on his backside, slides down the thing, and goes all the way down to the ground. He takes
Late here.
You're sliding.
takes
Just in
2
time to take
strain just from the
damage.
stress of it, no actual physical damage, as he slides off the armored shell of the ship and onto the ground below.
Oh, do we also pick up some strain from the threat?
No, you don't. Oh, yes, you all would. That's right. Somebody add 2 more strain to him.
So how many strain do we pick up? Shock. and
Whatever. Look at your rolls.
Yeah,
So
I
three.
get 2,
Yeah.
and you get 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, I gotta do -2 because I misread. There we go. I'm not gonna let Marty have control of Eatram again once he gets fully into the game.
Eatram doesn't know what's going on. He's seeing blood in people's mouth. He's hearing people fall off of a ship.
You're falling off the ship, Eatram.
Oh, I chose a really bad time to come back.
Short version of the recap. The 3 next to you managed to escape from them.
Okay.
You led the party out through a hatch that you recognized, and into the bridge, actually, which seemed like a good situation at first until Shock noticed that the Nexu just came up the ramp that wasn't locked. There was a rather bloody fight there. Shock actually got a critical hit. And actually the first critical of the campaign, actually. And now, after determining what you can, you decided that it's best to head back to the ship. Roxy did a little bit of hacking into the Nexu's cybernetic implants. She found out a name, Carlotta. Or Cartala, sorry. I can't want to say Carlotta. Cartala. Then you decided I guess the group decided to take the quick way out of the ship and clamber over the superstructure on the outside. When you got to the arched armored shell at the top, you took a misstep and slid all the way to the bottom.
Oh, that sounds about right. Oh, the fall damage again. Instantly dead?
No, you didn't fall. You slid.
Because the deck is sloped.
Yeah.
Like a
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm all alone at the bottom of the ship. Got it.
Yeah. While you look up, the rest are about halfway up, working their way down. Doesn't take long for the other ones to clamber down and join you. They're below around the ship there. Did I hear you guys right? Say you're going back to your ship, back to the Monarch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Need to get back into orbit. We need to scan around this site and see where some structures are.
Okay.
Should be a power signature, actually. So it clearly got some form of power.
Right. So you make your way back to the ship. As you're walking toward them without any difficulty. I was looking to see if I have any imagery for anything here. I don't see anything that stamps out. As you're walking toward the ship, you see a trio of figures coming down the ramp
Of our ship?
of your ship.
Why does it... Alright. Can we not lock it?
Yeah.
Is
That's
that
my
not an
question.
option for ship? Everybody is always walking onto somebody else's ship. Do they not have a lock?
Okay,
Does
and now
nobody
is
lock their spaceship?
what I'm going to point out. You all left a protocol droid on your ship.
Well, the astromech.
No.
The
You
other
have
one
you have a
that's
protocol droid with you.
Oh.
You left him on your ship unattended. However, it's not him coming down the ramp. What's coming down the ramp is a Frankenstein of a droid. It's kind of gangly, thin-limbed, carrying a rather heavy blaster rifle. They're walking in a trio. Blaster rifles in an easy, ready stance as they move down the ramp towards you, making a clank. One of them has a replacement limb. Looks more like just metal struts. And the one in the front has a yellow splash on its brown chest plate, and it begins issuing orders to the other two beside it, and then you hear the other two respond.
Roger.
Oh.
A trio of what appears to be, well, actually, history check from the three of you, because none of you were alive during that time. Or knowledge check, underworld check, anything dealing with robots or droids. Roxy, for you, because you're the one that had the background knowledge, you get a bonus die. Waiting on shocks.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, it was still 2 difficulty?
Yeah, 2 difficulty. Roxy and Yitrim, you've never seen them outside of textbooks or holo images. But these appear to be Clone Wars era B1 battle droids. Heavily repaired and worked on and modified. As soon as the lead one sees you, he raises his rifle towards you.
Halt. Identify yourself, please.
Okay, Eitrim, time to chat up your droid buddies. Keep in mind, Shock is mauled pretty badly, so he's probably not going to stay up too long if we have open combat.
I guess Eitrim's gonna stop for now and see what this thing's gonna say.
Identification.
Identity YT-R4M. Identify.
Identification not recognized by C4M. I am Battle Commander C2. Is this your vessel?
Yes. Identify purpose.
Out of the brush on either side of the ramp. Somewhat behind.
Somewhat behind you, just helps that was a battle droid. Somewhat behind you, 6 more droids appear,
Okay.
all armed.
Looks like we are now prisoners of droids, perhaps.
Our job security. Why C4M? Why are you here?
To get our ship.
Roger. Your ship is temporarily under our control jurisdiction. Judging from the state of your companions, might I suggest we shelter in your vessel for the night and await the commander.
Oh, very well. But you're staying in the cargo bay.
Roger, roger.
So the droid begins making motions, and the two behind him come down to the bottom of your loading ramp and take up positions on either side of the loading ramp. The other 6 begin a perimeter sweep around the Minoc, allowing you guys to enter the Minoc. Are you going aboard?
Yes, and I'm going straight to the cockpit.
Okay.
And if the other 2 don't follow me, I'm going to lock myself in there.
Does our ship have... What kind of medical facilities do we have on our ship? Anything?
No, nothing currently.
Okay. So could I ask Roxy to... Let me think. To do a... I guess she can... Medicine checks, right? Can help with the critical wound and the healing process?
Yes. I'm going to make a couple moves here.
Okay.
I'm going to bring you guys to the ramp and let you move into your ship. Open a few doors. There we go. You notice 6 more battle droids in the ship as you come through. Turn that down. See, oh, there he is. Okay, so Roxy, are you gonna help help Shock or what?
I just motion for him to follow.
Okay. Are you following him, Shock?
Yeah, where is he heading? Sorry.
I got you.
couldn't
I got
quite
you.
see.
I'll move you.
The cockpit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everybody went to the
yeah.
cockpit.
And now we're locking the door. Is that the idea?
That's what Utrim's doing. Okay. Outside, the sun begins to move towards sunset as you arrive in the cockpit. The door is latched behind you. I'll even latch it. You notice that a few of the battle droids is now loitering in that cargo bay behind the cockpit. There is no... Well, you saw the protocol droid standing in the main cargo bay when you came past.
I'm gonna start cleaning Shark's wounds.
Okay.
Jason, just out of curiosity, how is it to vent the cargo on a 3Z Nova?
Like once in space?
Yeah.
It can be done. If you notice, if you look a little bit to the north of your escape pod and your cargo bay, the way your ramps are set up, you have an external airlock. Here, let me get my drawing tool.
Oh, so they'd have to... Oh, got it.
You have those. It's not letting me draw. There we go. You have those to deal with. But it could be possible. And there's also those are the lifts. Those are oh no, those aren't lifts. I'm sorry. Those are access ways into the guts of the ship.
Ah.
Like if
I
you
just
wanted...
wondered if they were like cargo lifts.
No, those aren't cargo lifts.
So did only those 2 come
Oh
on?
no, actually, wait a minute. Make sure. And that's not 2. That's 6.
Oh, okay. They're just marked as 2 groups. Got it.
They're minion groups, so they're just marked as icons. But there's groups of 6. I know those are access ways. Sorry. Not this. I had to make sure I was telling you the right thing before I said that. Your main ramp, your ramp on your Nova is really kind of cool. It has hydraulics arms at both ends, so it can actually be lowered down completely flat and load stuff on, then raise it up like an elevator, or it can be lowered like you have it now in a ramp configuration.
Right. So while we're locked in here, I'm going to look at my companions. I could fly us into space and try and jettison them, but that wouldn't be too likely. Or if we're just trying to kill them, I could block the two groups off. Or we can just see what they want. They aren't overtly hostile yet.
Also, try and nab us some separatist credentials. I'm sure I can whip something up. Oh boy, how much is it to clean Shark?
Oh, that's be an
His
average.
wounds.
It'd just be an average check, an average medicine check. There. Yeah, you successfully clean his wounds up and all that. At the end of a 24-hour period, Shock, you can make and it's 24 hours of rest. You can make, or one night's rest. You can make a resilience check to try to resolve that critical.
So the medicine, I thought medicine check could also help with resolving a critical wound.
Let me double check to make sure. You could be right. Let me get it.
Also, again, Dr. Roxy.
Dr. Roxy. Each character may receive one medicine check per encounter difficulty based on how many wounds they have suffered. If successful, they recover 1 wound per success and 1 strain per advantage. So 4 successes, you got 4 wounds back from Dr. Roxy's work there.
Okay. It looks like this
And
character
actually, that should
sheet.
have been harder than when I made it, but that's okay.
It looks like this character sheet.
It probably did not update with the other one. Hold on.
Yep.
Hold on. Let me go grab your token from the other.
Okay.
Control C. Nova.
You cloned Shock.
Yeah, I cloned Shock and I deleted the clone. There you go.
The medicine check was so good you cloned me.
All right. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
4 successes, so 4 off my wounds. All
Yep.
right, that's something.
That takes care of wound now.
And then, does it have any effect on strain or
No,
activity?
you would need a back to tank or
rest, right?
an actual med droid would help with it. But the big thing is a back to tank and rest.
Yeah.
Let's see,
For the
critical injury.
Yeah, the critical injury though, I'm kind of worried about, right? Because the effects of that linger even though the encounter is over. Is that
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. The encounter's over, so you're not having the encounter. But the downside is you still have. If you suffer another critical, I have to up that by 10 because you have that critical one.
Right.
Yeah. Where are you headed, Eatrim?
Eatrim's looking for the commander, and he's gonna try and pull some slick shit.
Okay. Commander appear. Well, he's there in the cargo bay. That's not hard to find him. He's easy to spot with the big yellow spot on his chest.
Yeah. So what Eatrim did is he grabbed a couple of the spare blasters out of the cockpit that aren't our primary weapons, like that heavy blaster I gotten last time.
Yeah.
And I kind of walk over with just an armful of weapons. Please deposit all weapons inside of the whatever this is. I'm blanking on the name. Wow.
Security box? Confiscation?
Well, yeah.
Tray.
Just what is this? Not the jettison bay. The cargo. The loading zone.
Oh, right here on the rectangle area. Yeah, it's a cargo ramp.
Yes.
Well, not a ramp, but a cargo lift.
All weapons must be deposited in the
that's-
cargo lift. In the cargo ramp.
Well, actually, that's not a lift. That's an access. That's a hatch access way to your mechanicals.
The Rabid Minoc is a strict no weapons policy. Please follow me. Any luck?
Well, let's see how dumb these battle. I'm sorry, I'm on wait battle.
Boys, let's see how dumb these battle droids are. You will need to make.
I mean, B1s are pretty dumb.
Yeah, they're pretty dumb. You'll need to make a deception check there, Eatrim. And I'm going to make a.
I'm gonna flip one of these.
Oh, okay. So it's going to give you You can boost it. Not boost, you know what I'm saying?
Add a boost die.
No, not boost, but when you go to make the roll, hold on, let me pull one up here. Upgrade the ability. At the top of the screen there when you go to make your roll. Great ability, but hold on, let me see what his. Oh, he only has a 2 int. Oh, he only has a 1 cunning. So 1 die. Oh my god.
1 difficulty.
1 difficulty.
Okay.
You barely made
Hey,
that.
hey, we're not gonna worry about it.
You barely made that.
We're not gonna worry about it. We're gonna go stow some weapons.
The captain looks and goes and responds.
The captain is rolling on the vessel, will not surrender their weapons. However, we will exit the vessel and wait at the bottom of the ramp.
Very well. But no weapon shall pass these premises. I'm still gonna go through and store the weapons that I have just to make it look a little more convincing.
More convincing, yeah, like you're storing
And
weapons.
I'll just
Like you collected the weapons of all the crew.
yeah, I'll
Put it
stow
away.
them here in a little box,
Okay.
and I will return back to the cockpit.
Okay. And true is where the battle droids are moving toward the bottom of the ramp. That way they can easily come back on the ship, so they'd be attacked by something during the night. But they can, in the meantime, they can defend the ship. And you notice only 6 battle droids came on the ship. The ones outside the ship are still circling the perimeter.
Maybe they aren't looking for us. But hey, we got all the armed battle droids out of the main part of the ship, so I'm gonna call that as a win.
I'm just gonna do this just to get them. I think I'm floating space for right now.
Should we ask them what their primary objective is? I mean, from what you're saying, they're pretty dumb. I'm pretty sure you can squeeze that out of them.
Oh, must I do everything? Very well, let's go do some. What?
I'll try it. I just don't want to get shot.
Well, I'm just trying to decide. Does small talk really work with droids?
The B1s were always chatty.
I mean,
Oh,
I think your encounter just proved that they are.
I'm just curious if our landing gears can retract fast enough if we could just squish them.
Drop the ship on them.
Well, yeah, because I know that we're at like a major disadvantage to shoot them, but I can't imagine there'd be a disadvantage to dropping a ship on them.
I mean, you could always try and lift off and gun them down with the cannons on the side.
What can I say? I'm a problem
You don't
solver.
have to move your token, Roxy. If you just go outside to talk to the bottom ramp, talk to the captain.
Yeah, I'll just go.
Oh, I'm also going to question this freaking droid and see if he unlocked the ramp. Because if he did, somebody's getting turned off.
Okay. Let's take care of Roxy first, then we'll come back and deal with IT. So you come to the bottom of the ramp, Roxy, and you found the captain standing there with a couple of guards, and they're actually having a conversation. The conversation you overhear, they're talking about how nice your equipment is compared to theirs.
Oh, I'm also gonna just before I exit the ramp, I just quickly chuck both my pistols to the side, out of sight.
Yeah, just kind of lay them up on the side, just outside. Yeah, because maybe you're going down a ramp, so you can just drop them like it right above your head height as you go down. Yeah.
So
Okay.
you can have them
Yeah.
outside the ship.
Yeah, just gonna keep
Okay.
them just to make it look like it.
Normal operating procedure.
Yeah, just no chances.
Yeah. So you walk out, and the battle droid turns to you. The captain droid turns to you.
How may I assist you?
Oh, I was just wondering, what are you doing here? I mean, it's so far from civilization. I mean, it must be a long way from where you started.
Captain Marshall has control the wreck of the samurai and others regularly.
So, what are you out here for? Like, what are you protect? Like, what are you? Where'd you go? Yeah.
I don't understand the question. Where do we go?
I mean,
We go on our
There's-
patrol route.
there's nothing out here.
Make a
Make a. Trying to think what's going to be the right check for that, because I know what you're up to. Coercion check or a deception check, because you're really not trying to force them. So
Yeah, I'm just trying to trick him into.
Yeah. And they're telling you something without realizing he's telling you something.
Because that just seems the way that you would do something with B1.
Yeah, it does. It's perfectly in character, and I just either coercion or a deception check, because you're just trying to outthink him.
Perception, did you say? Or
No, coercion or deception. Not perception, deception.
Deception. All right, I'm gonna go with deception since
Okay.
I actually can do that.
And again, because it's against his cunning. See, I'll put that against his discipline, which is the same as 1, so it'd be 1. He has 1 green, so it's only 1 purple.
Oh,
It's a B1. I mean, come on.
thank you,
They're
B1s.
not the brightest things in the world. Okay.
We patrol the area around the sauna ore, to make sure that it is secure and discovered. We return to the what do we call it? I forget what they call it. We return to base. We return to base.
So, do you guys are you part of some kind of mining operation or something like that? I mean,
Did I look like a mining droid? I'm a
no, but
combat
mine-
droid.
yeah, but miners sometimes and salvagers sometimes have protection. It's a dangerous place out here. It's fecking out a rim.
We're not salvage. We serve the captain.
Okay. Well, so your captain's out here like just on his own, and you just patrol all day, just waiting around for something, I imagine.
Captain Arsaw will be here in the morning. You can see him.
Okay. And yeah, start going back.
Now, meanwhile, while that conversation's been going on, Yitrim has been talking to IT3PO.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead there, Yitrim.
You. How did they get on our ship?
They came up the ramp, sir.
The ramp was closed.
Yes, sir. It was.
How did they get in if the ramp was closed?
The ramp was lowered, sir.
By who?
I do not know, sir.
You do not know. Did you lower the ramp?
I do not have access to the ramp, sir.
I look over at the project
Like, common
Did-
sense rule. So,
Did you open the ramp?
I'll move the project out of there. He tweedles. In droid speak. And says yes.
Okay, come here. Where's your off switch?
He backs away at first, but then he backs away and turns around and stops.
Someone's going into a closet. I think this one over here looks perfectly astromech sized. When the others find him, they can turn him back on.
Okay. YouTube deactivates Project Droid 5Z. IZ8-5 or 5Z, as everybody's come to call him on the ship. 5Z. So 5Z's turned off and shut.
Yeah, he's going in the closet and he's getting a blanket or something draped over him.
Okay, so you wheel him. Let's see. I got it. You wheel him in one place you think that that the fleshies probably would not look anytime soon. You wheel him down the hallway and into the closet off one of the staterooms. Let's see. They're using those staterooms. I got it. You wheel him into one of the bathroom stalls. And then you hang an out of order sign on the stall. Okay, he's placed.
So hard to find good help.
Or let me ask you, Eacham, or do you put him in the locked room?
Absolutely not.
Okay, just checking. Just checking. So you put him in your quarters?
No, I like leaving him in the bathroom.
Okay.
He belongs there.
Okay.
I'm going back to the...
Okay.
So, Raxi, did you hear anything good while I was taking a stroll?
They've got a base nearby, and the captain survived. Whether it's the actual captain that lived, or whether it's one who got promoted to captain. So.
Well, the name matches the name of the captain that you were told.
I mean, the name matches up, but so it's a good assumption.
Remember, IT is supposed to be able to help you identify the wreck because he was supposedly familiar with and was Riom's father's droid. I believe would imply that he probably at some point met with Captain Harsal.
Right. I'm gonna try and hack myself some CIS credentials.
Okay.
Sounds reasonable. So unless we try to shoot our way out of this, I don't think we're going to be getting out of here quite so easily.
And I'm gonna make him look like a not new CIS, but CIS that resisted or something.
Yeah. Old credentials from pre-war or wartime credentials, just not updated.
Well, they'd be more modern, but they'd be like, the holdouts.
Right. I'm with you.
Because I'm not old enough to.
Right.
Roxy's not that old. Or not quite, I don't think.
Right. I'm with you.
So
Okay. Just remember what they call it. When he called it, instead of a base, he said the retreat. That's what he called it.
And probably I'll add in like some fake orders see if I can dig up something from like a general that he wouldn't know was dead.
Okay.
If there is,
according to what you know from the history, you can do that certainly. They fled at the tail end of the war when the Empire was coming about. They were actually chased by Imperials.
Yeah.
Of course, granted, the Imperials on Republic starships, but
Yeah.
okay. So your forging credentials, you don't have forgery
And orders.
and orders, but you do have the skullduggery skill. You also have your hacking abilities. Something that complicated. Something that complicated. Well, I'll call that 4 purple.
Oh, purple. Sure.
So you go about fabricating a rank cylinder or same thing is used back then as currently by the Empire, a code cylinder. You fabricate what you believe is a passable code cylinder. You see some flaws in it, but you think it might be believable.
It's hard to tell when these things technically didn't even exist. Or at least not for long anyway.
Right.
Yeah. I'll use this as a last resort.
Okay. So are you guys going to wait out the night and see what happens in the morning, or what is your plans?
We could escape, guys.
Say, yeah, they aren't on the ship. I could lock us up and we could just leave. But would that get us any closer to our goal?
No, we still haven't found any actual technology to bring back, right? So
Uh-huh. But we're either gonna have to trade with this guy, and he seems like a CIS nut job who doesn't want to admit that the war's over, and he should just cash in his credits and make up some money. I mean, honestly, it's hard to deal with fanatics.
Got some cool cybernetic replacement parts, though.
I mean, yeah, but I don't want to die. I don't want to have to fight my way through however fucking many battle droids they have, even if they're just cruddy little B ones.
Who said it has to come to a fight? I'm sure that he'd be perfectly reasonable and easy to talk to.
I mean, I guess. I mean, he might need some stuff. We could trade some stuff. I mean, then again, hang on. I just think for a moment. Did the CIS still use regular credits, or did they use like their own issued currency?
Galactic credits have been pretty standard for years. The Empire switched to Imperial credits, but the banking clans use Galactic credits, and they're still accepted in most of the galaxy. And as long as you're not like in the core, would want to be using Imperial credits, but out here on the outer rim where you guys function, Galactic credits or some other planet system credits is still accepted. As long as they're not issued by the Republic. You wouldn't want to use Republic credits, obviously. You all probably trade in a variety of different currencies, and the game is just listed as credits. But pretty much what has happened throughout the galaxy is a credit on one world is a credit on another world, kind of thing. It's all done electronically.
So, would those credits? I'm just trying to think.
Yeah.
Would the credits still be valid that he would take
yeah.
if he?
Oh yeah, they'd still be valid. And according to the legend, there was more than just credits on the ship. There was gold and jewels, and of course, based on what Riom told you, there was supposedly a bunch of advanced cybernetic information as well that they're going to use to parlay into even more money.
All right. So, here's my thought, guys. We could offer to supply him credits for supplies, smuggling. I mean, it won't be as profitable, but we could maybe earn his we could earn his trust and maybe nick the information later.
I do want to point out, as you were looking over, because you've seen various ones that battle droids, either through the windows that are passing on sentry duty or on the ship as you walked by them when they were still on the ship. All of them are pretty heavily patched and repaired. And some of the repairs appear to have been made with other droid parts. Like at least one of the ones you saw appeared to have a protocol droid arm. Another one did not have the B1 head, but had a older model astromech head.
Sounds about right.
So he's hurting for parts. I guess we could use that as a bargaining start point for bargaining.
Yeah, I just don't want to, because we're gonna need. I'm not sure if we have enough people to take him. You know what I mean? Depending on how many of these cobbled together things he has.
I guess that really leaves us down. Do we go meet this guy or do we leave? I'm of the mind that at the very least we talk to him.
Yeah, I'm in favor of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that decision made as a group, you pass the night. Go ahead.
Sorry,
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought
I'm just thinking, do we hide the protocol droid? Because we know it's the guy. And I don't want that droid blowing it. No offense. But he might not be able to keep his mouth shut.
YT thinking it's a really good thing that we have 3 toilets. YT says, I got this covered, don't worry. And he's gonna go have a little conversation with our friend.
Okay.
Say, hey, it'd really help us out a lot if we didn't, have you be seen and, give this guy the wrong idea. So we just want you to, you can peek out the windows, but stay out of view, stay in the ship. You think you can do that for us?
I can, sir, but Captain Harsal would be very glad to see me.
Yes, assuming he's in the right state of mind, but he's been stuck, presumably alone on this planet for who knows how long now? Several years at the least. I can't imagine that's very good on the psyche. He could see you and, well, frankly, we don't know how he'd react.
Captain Harsal had my own plan. He actually rattled off the number of hours, days, and minutes from the time that the ship last disappeared. Captain Harsal could be unstable if he has been alone. This is true. I can remain out of sight.
Yes, that would be helpful. If you would like to verify the ship or our surroundings from the cockpit, feel free, but...
Is there another vantage point on the ship that would not be as obvious as the cockpit, sir?
I'm going to defer to you here, Jason. I don't know what kind of windows the Nova has.
the 2 main cabins of the Nova, your cabin and the locked cabin, have windows just above the bunk that looks forward of the ship.
Okay, from my cabin, you should be able to see quite well without giving yourself away.
Very well, sir. I will retire to your cabin whenever you and the others exit to speak with Captain Harsal.
Understood. Thank you.
You're most welcome, sir.
He totters off to whatever he was doing in the ship prior. I'm going to stick him in your cabin just so we don't forget that's where he's going. Yeah, the two main cabins have two small ports that view just straight forward. They're not very big, but they are there. Okay.
All right, so everyone, I guess we rest up for the night and see what tomorrow brings, or
Okay. So, a night's rest will repair anybody's strain, so you can pull your strains back to 0. Shock.
Yep.
Also anybody who has injuries, except for the droid, will regain 1 wound overnight. So reduce.
wait, I thought droids regen too.
Well, they do. You got to take care of yourself to do that. I was going to come back to you in a second, but yeah, you've
Okay.
you gain your strain too. You just have to actually spend a little wrench time, unlike Liam, who just get to go sleep. So reduce your strain by 1, obviously, or not your strain, your wound by 1, unless you're going to use med packs or anything like that. Again, the strain goes to 0. And shock.
Yes.
Make a... Oh, crap. What was that? I think it was resilience. Let me double check. Yeah. Need you to make an average resilience check to remove this. You remove your critical injury.
That's good. So you'll take. I don't think that carried over, did it? Or yeah, it did.
Well, it did when I copied it over.
Yeah, you'll take that
I
off
got
then.
it.
Okay.
Just clicking on while you're talking. Okay.
Do we have extra stim packs on the ship anywhere?
I believe you guys had like a pack of at least 10 that was given to you, or that you bought or something. I think you just all had just a handful on you.
So the max healing from that resets each day?
Correct.
Okay. So if I took one the next day, I could get the full 5?
Correct.
Okay.
And same goes for any of the rest of it. If you want to use stim packs, you'll gain 5, except for you each will gain 3. Because you're a droid and special.
I mean, if we do have them, which I'm not actually, unfortunately, I don't.
I don't think I've made a ship inventory. I'll just remember to deduct 1 from it. So,
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, if we're gonna sleep overnight, and as soon as I wake up in the morning, I'll take a stim pack.
Okay.
Just to greet the day, coffee and stim pack, please.
Yeah, Shot comes stumbling
Back for breakfast.
through the kitchenette. The music's going in the kitchen, and Shot comes stumbling through. You see him get his calf, big huge mug of calf. He takes the stim pack, jabs it into his shoulder, smiles, drinks the calf.
And keep in mind, a Wookiee smile is basically a growl. So
Yeah.
all right, so that's
I'll have
5.
1 shock as well, please.
Shock will toss 1 over to Roxy.
Okay.
That's the stuff.
So, as you guys are enjoying your breakfast that morning, the captain arrives in the. Actually, here, let's just do this. I'll move you guys to the dining hall. Why are you standing on the table, Shop, Eacham? So as you're standing there enjoying your morning music, in walks the captain droid. And he announces that the captain is arriving. Do you wait for the captain or greet him? What's the plans?
I'm gonna greet him by the ramp.
Okay.
Yes, I'll tell the droid that. Please inform him of the no weapons policy before he arrives. That way he can leave his weapon in the appropriate location.
He confirms that he will. Okay.
And now, makes more sense for him to sit at the table. That's fine.
Okay. Let me go grab a token. So a little bit of time passes. Nope. Wrong set. There we go. Where's our saw? There he is. And there we go. Three individuals come up the ramp, Roxy. One is a very obviously probably at some point was a command officer or something of that rank based on his appearance, his mannerisms, the way he walks. He's flanked on either side by what obviously is two juniors or two subservient people with him. Their clothing is much patched and repaired, but in good repair. It's been patched. The knees are patched over multiple times. The elbows are patched over multiple times. You can tell that the captain is wearing the remains of his uniform. When he walks to the top of comes to the top of the ramp, he makes a sign of having no weapons on him. And he stops and goes, "Are you the captain of this vessel?"
I'm just a greeter.
Ah. And where would your captain be?
It's conference room.
Lead the way.
Oh no, I see what you did, Jason.
Mhm.
I see you. We haven't left the ship. Yep, my mistake.
So as Roxy leads the way past the to the conference room in the kitchen, Captain Arsal comes into the thing. I'll grab his two lackeys that are with him and put him in there too. Out of the hallway from your room, Yitram, arrives IT-3PO.
Captain Harsal, it is so good to see you.
The captain turns and looks at Joy and goes, almost a puzzled look at first, and then recognition. IT? Is that you, IT?
IT responds, "Yes, sir. I've come with this crew to locate you. You've been missing for a number of years, sir."
The captain and IT then quickly fall into a conversation, or start to fall into a conversation, and I'm going to leave it to Roxy if she wants to interrupt.
No, Roxy's just dying a little inside, just like
Say, yeah, from our
You
little breakfast
two,
table, can we hear?
even over the music, yes, you can. You know it's taking far longer than it should, and you can hear IT's voice in the cargo bay.
Oh god, Atrim's just going to start trudging towards the door.
So as you enter the room, IT and the captain who have been talking back and forth, and IT has rapidly been filling him in on what's going on. Roxy, one of the main important things you picked up is IT did not belong to Riom's father. IT was Captain Arsal's droid. When Yitrim enters the area, Captain turns and goes, and then he looks at Roxy. What droid is that?
it's technically our captain.
How interesting. Times must have changed in the galaxy. He turns towards you, Geetram. So, Captain, and almost leaves it as a question, is to be filled in with a name or identification of some kind.
I'm YTR4M. You can call me YT or Eitram for short.
Ah, I like Ethram. Very sophisticated sounding. This vessel is yours?
It belongs to our company, but by matter of means, yes.
Excellent. IT here tells me that you were sent by the son of, and he names Riom's father. I'm just blanking on the name right now. Looking for the remains of the Salnora.
Right.
Correct?
Yes, we've been looking for it.
He kind of looks around the vessel and goes, we should discuss that. And you kind of get the impression the underlings seem excited that you're here, but weary of the captain at the same time. Is it? He turns to IT. What's the young man's name? And IT comes back and explains. Says Riom's name is it Riom's intention to relocate us, or is he just after the? All right, I'm confused as the situation. Can you fill me in, Eitram?
Yes, I can come fill you in. Perhaps your compatriots would like to go to our chow hall and have a meal while we discuss. Thinking maybe this is a good way to separate them and do some cross-examination.
That would be excellent. Which he looks at us. Why don't you go with Roxy here? I guess we'll show you where the dining hall is, and I'll speak with Eitram. Where do you want to speak at? Eitram here or another location, perhaps?
Yeah, I'm looking around. I'm realizing we don't actually have anywhere else with chairs, which is kind of awkward. We have the one place with a table.
Look at a spaceship.
Yes, if you'd like to join me in the cockpit, I find that the being able to see the canopy is quite pleasing for
Very well.
fleshies.
So you and I'm gonna make you guys move maps around and all that, but so you two adjourn to the cockpit. Once you arrive in the cockpit, he looks and goes, "Your ship is in good repair." So what is? And IT has kind of come along with you. He did not come in the cockpit. He stopped at the back of the cockpit. He did not enter. What is Riom's plan?
Well, Riom sent us along with IT here to basically find the Salnara. To him and to everyone else's knowledge, it was missing. Crew dead and lost to the ravages of space. If it wasn't for, the basic whereabouts of a beacon that gave us your location, you might never have been found.
The beacon. We jettisoned that beacon when we were entering the atmosphere. It took this long for someone to find it? Good God. Tell me, what of the greater galaxy? Is the Empire still in control?
Well, and I'll start filling him in on all the background. I'm not going to try and...
Yeah. You start filling in. So basically,
bring him up to speed.
Correct me if I'm wrong, just so I know what you've told him. You basically explained to him that the Empire is in control. The Empire controls the galaxy. Well, the explored parts of the galaxy was formed of the Republic, and that the war is long over, right?
Essentially, yeah. Just brief historical overview.
Yeah. Oh, I see. And then he asks something that startles you. What are the Jedi?
Oh. Jedi. And YT will access the old brain data banks. Well,
and basically
what
you come back with is nothing. Your databanks have nothing on the Jedi. All that's been purged.
Aren't there still wanted bounties out for Jedi?
Nope.
Yeah.
There are bounties out for some individuals that are Jedi, but they're not referred to as Jedi. The Empire has done everything it can to eradicate the knowledge of the Jedi. He looks a bit confused. The Jedi were... So the Empire is very much in control.
Yes.
And Realm works outside of the control of the Empire?
Yes. Realm, to put it quite bluntly, purchased our debts from a hut, and we've been tasked with finding this ship in order to start paying it off.
So the Hutt cartel still function?
Oh, well, of course.
That
It would
figures.
take far more than a change in management to deter the Hutts.
True. Well, I first thought maybe we were going to leave here, but perhaps that's not a good idea. Each you begin to get a sense, and I'm probably not conveying it well. He is very paranoid about being found by the Empire. When you mention about the Empire being in control, he asked a number of very poignant, very direct questions about what sectors they control, what planets they control, things like that. And you've obviously filled in some of it. He goes, well, while I was captain of the Salnalore, and while I lead these people, my former crew, I'm not the only voice. We're going to need to take this information back to them. Back to the retreat. If you care to lock your ship up, I can have some of the droids guard it for you. And I can take you back to the retreat. That's what we called it. It's our base of operations here on Chogana. And we can begin talking about how to proceed. I assume Realm is still interested in Dr. Cartala's cybernetics?
I would get across that we don't really know what use he has for the ship. He's just offered our reward and to clear our debts for the ship.
But he thought the ship was abandoned or empty. Okay. Yes, I will need to speak with my people, and obviously your people will need to get on the conversation. Would it be acceptable for you guys, your crew, to be transported with my people to the retreat for a few days while we discuss this?
Would it not be simpler for us to fly there in our vessel? I can assure you I've taken quite the liberty to ensuring that we were not tracked, followed, or otherwise scannable by radar.
That's possible. There is a landing spot somewhat near. That we do have a landing bay at the retreat. You could land this vessel this size in. I believe it would fit. Nothing like this survived the. We have a hangar. He starts to, you see, he kind of starts to explain, and then he kind of stutters and stops, and he goes, we have a hangar. The hangar is for the handful of ground craft that survived. However, none of our space-going craft survived, or obviously we would have long since left the planet to return, or some of us would have returned. Those that didn't decide to stay in hiding. But yes, I believe I have a place nearby. If you could have someone retrieve my compatriots, I can send word with them, and if it's acceptable with you, I'll fly with you. It would be good to feel a ship beneath my feet, even if it's not mine, for once.
Of course. We just had a few nasty run-ins with local species. I believe they're called Nexu. It made things quite difficult for us, so the more we can keep our fleshies out of.
Well, I assure you,
out of
my
their
transportation would not be Now, you would be guarded and well taken care of. You would not to worry. But I can understand you not wanting to leave a vessel of this nature just sitting in the middle of the wilderness anywhere. Got easy access to it. So arrangements are made. His two crew.
But yeah, were Roxy and Shock able to get anything out of them while they were
Yeah,
eating?
Let's switch over. I'm going to move out there so we don't listen to the music. You guys, if you move out of the room, the music will stop. If you're sitting there listening to the music, I didn't think to tell you that.
Oh.
I didn't even notice it had stopped when I left.
Yeah, music only plays in that room.
And when you have the door open,
Yeah,
you can hear it a bit outside.
yeah, like that little shock door open. Yep, it's actually geographically centered on that room. Okay, so while you're getting the other, obviously you fix the guys. You know, let them take a choice. Something. And they picked a meal and was eating a meal. I'll let you guys start the conversation because they tuck into the meal quite quickly. They don't look malnourished by any standards, but they do seem to enjoy whatever meal they picked out from your all stocks.
But I imagine it's been a while since you had a decent home cooked meal.
No, we have home cooked meals every day. Just miss some of the spices that we used to have access to. This nurse steak, we have nothing like that here. Most of what we eat's Revos. No, that's not the right name. Sorry. What are those things called?
Sounds like a name of the tentacle monster.
You know, actually, you know, he names a creature there, but you don't know what it is. It doesn't make sense to you all. Is it that and something to drink other than? And both of them had grabbed like a equivalent of a soda or some kind of flavored drink from the stuff. Haven't had anything like anything like this in a while.
Make sure to have dessert as well while you're at it.
And he goes, "Really? Thank you." So, what are you guys here for?
Well, it was technically salvage.
Ah, good. Anything particular you're looking for? We might be able to trade.
I mean, you pretty much stripped that ship. But,
Well,
I mean, trading, we could do that. Depends what you guys need or want.
we need everything. Another guy kind of ribs him in the ribs when he says that. Well, we need a little bit of stuff. What do you got to trade?
I mean, we can get stuff to trade. I mean, we're not exactly, kitted out for trading. We were thinking of taking stuff back, but we can get stuff.
I don't know. The captain and Dr. Cartala might agree to that. That triggers a memory for you, Roxy. Cartala. That's the name you saw in the code. And that was right. Revos was the right word. But you can talk to them about it. We don't make decisions. They do.
Really? Even though this Cartala, is he like another superior officer or something?
She's a cyberneticist. Even got around to enhancing some of those Nexu. Things give me the creeps.
Yeah, I got bitten a couple of times. Those things nasty.
Yeah. Especially the unenhanced ones are bad enough, but things she does to the other ones. A few of them got loose. Haven't seen them for a while.
Yeah, we kind of sorted that out. 3 of them?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Top
Would you-
deck of the ship.
I guess you gotta point over to Shock's battered form.
All of the gashes and partially healed things that have been stitched together.
It's like, oh,
Yeah, not a lot
Yeah.
of things that can do that to a Wookiee.
those things are nasty. But you survived saying something. Which all this is through, as they're shoveling mouthfuls of food in and enjoying their drink quite a bit. About that time, IT walks in and tells them that Captain Harsalt wants them. They finish up their meal and disappear and depart. Arrangements are quickly made. I'll let you guys talk amongst yourself while you're pre-flighting the ship. Harsalt sits on the cockpit, admiring the controls and just looking out as you get things ready. I'll let you guys chat as you want before I tell you the next part.
So yeah, so we're just what exactly are we hoping to accomplish here? I guess just to find out more details, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, it's just getting more information.
Probably renegotiate.
Plus, if I can get like some cool cybernetics from this lady, I'll call that a double win.
Are we thinking we could establish a smuggling routine smuggling run out here to bring them stuff in exchange for whatever tech and other things that we're supposed to be recovering? Or is that kind of where we're heading?
Yeah,
I'm thinking I will do whatever they want for rocket legs.
But we have a mission. We've been hired to bring back. What exactly was it? The tech or just the treasure that was on
the tech.
The tech
Yeah.
was what Riom was more after. I mean, he wanted
Yeah,
you
we're
to
out here
find the
for
ship.
proof of the ship.
Yeah, you were out here to find proof that you found the crash of the Sonalor. One of these days, I'll say the name the same way twice in a row.
Okay. Well, Shock's more than happy to go along for the ride and see what develops.
Okay. So I'm sure you have that conversation in passing as you guys are moving and making like you're preparing the ship for departure. I need a perception check from Shock and Roxy.
Ask each of them. So, what do they want? Anyway, the captain.
Well, it really seemed like he wanted a history lesson, but he was just questioning me on our purpose here and what our motives were. But he also just proved that he's been out here for quite a while and didn't know anything about what was recently been going on in the Empire.
Roxy,
Interesting to know.
Roxy, you realize you haven't seen 5Z in a while.
Yeah. I think 5Z's broken down somewhere in the ship. I'll have to go find him. Some point.
So, as Ranger made and keep getting pop-ups, I do not want to see my mail, especially not during the middle of the game. The captain, of course, he settles in on the bridge with next to you, Yitrim, in one of the seats as you guys take off. As you lift off, you can see the lake, and Harsal is, kind of giving you directions which way to go. And on the lake, you see 3 huge beasts, and on the back of these beasts is a saddle, what appears to be like a saddle, and they're standing on the edge of the lake when you first spot them. And they slowly walk into the lake. And the saddle looks kind of weird. It almost looks like a boat shaped. And as these creatures go into the water, the saddle comes level with the water, and their heads are just above the water. And you realize these are the shapes you guys have been seeing in the lake. Only these three appear to have saddles on them, and you see that in those boats that form the saddles, you see the battle droids and a handful of Captain Harsal's crew traveling in those beasts, on those beasts down the lake.
So
Now that's a neat trick.
yeah, it's
Probably
kind
a
of
lot safer.
yeah.
Well, I told you you'd be more than happy to secure your ship with some droids, but I understand why you want to keep your vessel close. The Sonalore wasn't safe to stay in, or we would have stayed in it. Too easy to find, and we didn't want the Empire finding us. The Rebos, they're native, obviously. Took us a little bit, but once we got domesticated a few of them, it makes it a lot easier to get around the lake. The lake, I guess you haven't figured it out, was formed from the wreck of the Sonalore. The engine section dammed up the lower end of the river and flooded the valley. So he points you in a direction, and you fly northwest of it. You don't fly long, not long at all. And he points to a clearing there that's just big enough for the Rancor to sit down. And he goes, "Put her down there. It's not far from there."
All right, I can put her down.
Okay, so you quickly move yourself into a landing there. As soon as you land, on the edges of the clearing, a group of people dressed in similar to the way you saw Harsal's men or crew dressed appear, holding various weapons. Harsal stands up in the cockpit and waves at them, and they relax. Yes, my crew will string a camouflage netting across the top of your ship to hide it, if that's acceptable.
Absolutely. My plan was going to be to shoot down a couple trees.
Well, we'd much rather keep the trees in place. We have this area rigged to hide large items. This is where we process a lot of the raw materials we bring in from the wreck. Sometimes we have to lay it out. We use it to hide. And as you watch, his men begin rigging a suspended netting over top of the ship to hide it from easy view from above. Because this way, he leads you down the ramp and up a trail. It doesn't take you long, no more than 10 or 15 minutes to walk. And as he's doing, he's pointing out various fun things. You can eat this and that sort of thing. Being kind of polite, kind of tour guidey. He's very gruff, though. As you round a bend in the trail, you see before you a huge gate and a fortification built up against the base of some of these larger trees in a rocky buff there. And it appears that the gate itself is made out of what was probably hangar bay doors at one point in their existence. Now they've been turned into physical doors for this fortification. Along the perimeters is a combination of salvaged materials from the Sonalore and wooden timbers that makes a palisade. And as you pass through the gate, and you see various people on guard duty, there's a couple of guard towers that overlook the gate. And there were some signs that went back and signals went back between him and them as he entered. And as you come into the main body of the area, you see an encampment. It's obviously old. They've been here a while. And the encampment is a mix of modern technologies, well, at least as modern as the Clone Wars, and primitive technologies. You see structures that are no more than really huts. with people standing out front of them and cook pots out front of them as you pass down through there. People speak and nod to the captain in polite manners. They look at you and mutter and point. He leads you through the group, and as he's going, he points out a few things. On my map here, not for you guys, but for me, my notes. Check the retreat. He says they call this place the retreat, and they call it that because that's where they retreated to after the crash of the ship. So it took a number of years to build it up and set it up, and you see that a couple of the towers actually have gun emplacements that's been removed from the Son Allure and placed here, and they cover the skies. He points out a few things. Says, "Yeah, I can get you a more detailed tour here later. For now, let's meet up with Dr. Cartala and the others and have a discussion." He directs you toward a large metal and wood building, again crafted from a combination of salvage and local materials. A small crowd has started to gather, and this particular building is rather large. You pass through the crowd, you hear a lot of expected questions and whispers of curiosity and what's going on. So one of the people hollers out in the back, "So Harsal, why aren't they dead yet? You gone soft?" And you hear another voice say, "Could be things are changing for the better around here. Tell Cartal to get over here. We'll find out together." That response came from Captain Harsal himself. "The rest of you, follow us inside." He leads you into a central room in this building. Now, this building is built around the tree of a trunk of a tree, and it's really a two-story building. But when you get inside, it's one story. It's one big open story. As you come inside, and I think, let me make sure I've gone active for you. I think I have an image. Let's see. I do. There you go. I said it's a combination of old and new. And as he gets you guys set down, he goes, "While the others gather, enjoy, have some refreshment." And that's where we're going to leave you tonight. But before we leave you, well, actually, where's it at? I'm going to leave that discussion for our next one because we'll get into stuff there. Toward the settlement. I have not labeled it. Okay. Oh, there it is. Found it. So, how about some XP for finishing up chapter 2 of the story?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so you survived the nebula. That's 2x. We'll total this up for you, but you survived the nebula. That's 2. Let me get a calculator here. That's 2 points for surviving the nebula. You searched the surface successfully. That's 5 points. You discovered the escape pod. Kind of, sort of. You survived the Nexu. You did search the engineering section using your drone. You currently have the captain's trust. Okay. Now, there's some other experience points I'll award you because there's some other things that's going to happen yet. But for now, you have 25 experience each.
Nice.
I'll mark these in gold so I don't forget that those are still doable. And that's where we'll leave you tonight as you guys go into the meeting to meet with the survivors of the San Nalor. So you survived the Nexu. Good job.
It was a near thing in some ways, at least for Shock.
That seems to be become a common threat for Shock lately.
I think he actually went into Shark.
Quite
Perhaps
possibly.
he did earn his namesake.
That's all I want to do.